All right. Well, in my recent translation of the New Testament, right, there's this verse, Acts 3. I didn't realize this about the Reformation tradition, is that the more the linguistic studies and the historical studies have eaten away at their understanding of, say, words like pro-Aritzine in Scripture, how desperate they are for language of predilective predestination of a small number, that a lot of them put a great emphasis on Acts 13:48, which let's see, here memory sort of one isn't going to serve. Let me look. I have to Nestle. Aquanto detalles ni heron que doxison ton logon to Kyrio que stifson osi son titagmeni. That's the important word. Isoineonion. I translated that something like, hearing this, the Gentiles were elated. They gave glory to the Lord's word, and as many as were disposed to the life of the age had faith. Okay. Tautogmeny. I actually had these Presbyterian ministers, writing to me. Apparently, a lot of Reformed tradition insists upon that word tautogmeny. It should be rendered as ordained or predestined, and they really hinge their whole faith on this passing remark in Acts, and one of them even accused me of enfeebling the verb for theological reasons. But actually, I mean, I was just translating it correctly, by the way. I mean, the verb tasso does actually mean ordain in the sort of the almost obsolete sense of arranging or setting in order or appointing or assigning to a station. And in military matters, it's something along the lines of arranging soldiers in rank and file or assigning them a place on the battlements. But it's the emphasis in the verb isn't upon giving commands, but only upon getting things in appropriate order. And in the passive or the middle voice, and tautogmeny could be either, it has at most, its participial form has at most the force of, ready for, prepared for, suited to, or disposed to. It's a very weak formulation. Right. It doesn't mean predestined, foreordained, and yet, these guys, they were almost violent in their anger that I had had the temerity to translate the word correctly. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting about that is if you were to go to, the worst translation ever made, the New International Version or one like it, you're going to find something that suggests that what that verse is saying is a certain small number who were, basically predestined. I have actually looked up in some versions, Reformed versions, actually just use the word predestined there. I mean, absolutely inexcusable act of misrepresentation of the text.
Yeah.
And what struck me about this was the passion they were pouring into they needed this verse to be saying that the elect are a small number, chosen by God entirely, almost by caprice, to which no additions could be made. And I thought, well, you're expending a lot of energy. So let's say that's what the verse does mean. Shouldn't that just be an argument to you to stop taking this religion seriously? I mean,
wow.
Yes.